Have you seen the leaked footage from 2016 that allegedly shows Diddy kicking and dragging Cassie Ventura? What really happened that night? And why is this shocking video resurfacing now? Dive into the details of this disturbing revelation and uncover the truth behind the scandal that has everyone talking. Everyone's been talking about the leaked hotel footage from 2016 that shows Diddy brutally assaulting his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. It's been reported that Diddy paid the hotel $50,000 for the incriminating footage, which was kept at his home until the video was obtained by CNN, allegedly after the raids on his home just a few months ago. Well, now Diddy's former bodyguard Roger Bonds is speaking out, calling out his apology video, stating that this wasn't an isolated incident. Bonds would go on to accuse the mogul of putting his hands on Kim Porter while they were together and others. Bonds also claims that he'd attempted to intervene. On his Instagram stories, he wrote, "I guess you sorry, and was at rock bottom for years and years. 'Cause you was whipping not only her but Kim and others too. Let's reflect the truth is a lot of you cats been whipping ladies, and only a person who whips his girl can understand how you beat a girl up. I mean beat her up. I'm not afraid to say as a man I pushed off a lot of stuff mentally I went through being with Puffy, but you don't realize it until you seek help. And now that I have help I see things clearly, and I have to live with it." He later added, "Money and power leads to the God syndrome, and there is only one God, get true help." With this new footage coming out, many online are asking why no one has tried to speak out or prevent this from happening. According to Roger Bonds, he attempted to do just that. Joining me is our very own John Abba to discuss this topic in more detail. First and foremost, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome back. Such a heavy topic that we definitely have to unpack as the voice of the culture. Absolutely, and I appreciate you joining me on this. Unfortunately, you know we would see this video circulate over and over and over again. What's your reaction once you saw that video surface? Yeah, it's okay. So that's my two responses. Surprised that the video was even pushed out there, and that's its own conversation. But at the same time, seeing Diddy and any man put their hands on a woman, as we all know, that's not even player, that's not even cool. And again, that shouldn't be the place you should be at. Just walk away. I definitely wasn't excited to see it, and just seeing it constantly reposted by people that aren't news outlets, people just using it for clicks. This can be triggering because for me, it was triggering to have grown up and watched that type of thing take place, and then see that coming on my timeline constantly. I just stopped being on social media for a bit. Automatically, they always say, don't let somebody have you come out of your character. At that moment, when I see this footage play out, I'm disappointed in terms of Diddy because he was someone we looked up to, especially as another entrepreneur. It's like, man, I want to be like dude. He's a billionaire. Him and Jay, they're making moves. So you see this, looking up to these folks. And for me, you hear the conversation of, man, they're trying to take the black man down. We can't give them an excuse to take us down. From my position, it's like I ask myself, do I need more support around me so I don't make certain mistakes? Because it does seem like with the power, like I mentioned, or we mentioned the security guard, he had this quote, the God syndrome. I really believe that's true. If you've got the money, why haven't you checked this before? If you knew this existed, it shouldn't have been like 10 years now we hit the footage. It should have been addressed back then. But the reality is, Diddy got a lot of money. Diddy got a lot of power. So who's going to check him? I wonder if there should be a way that we can keep our greats in check as society. What needs to happen? More mentorship. Who was going to be there to maybe keep Diddy on the right path? Right now, he's the villain of the day of the year, honestly. The footage is there. I don't think he should have waited until the footage came out. Let's talk about his apology. We saw him come on social media to apologize, if that's what we want to call it. He said it was his apology. What are your thoughts on his apology and why people aren't receptive to it? The thoughts on the apology were that I do think the best thing he could do was to address the smoke. Take whatever criticism is going to come with it. Because at least it allows people to not continue to run with any other narratives. It kind of condenses everyone's opinions and thoughts. The apology itself, my question mark would be that he looked a little too relaxed. Looked like he just got out of a pool. He's on vacation somewhere while we're struggling, trying to make ends meet. You kind of just did something that, to society's standards today, was a big no-no. You looked mad relaxed. You had some comments too about how that was presented. I think the timing, that's why I feel the way I do about the apology. It was the timing. When everything first started circulating, you saw him kind of standing in defense like, oh, I'm going to defend my name. Then you start seeing pictures of him still living life, being smug, like I'm unbothered. Then when the footage comes out, that's when you apologize. For me, you know what you did. If you would have apologized earlier, I feel like people would have received it better. There was an incident with Dana White, who's the president of UFC. He was caught on footage hitting his wife on New Year's. She struck him first in the video, and then he retaliated. But again, as a man, it's a no-no. You're physically stronger than a woman, so you'll get cool points. He ended up doing an apology first on TMZ, similar to Diddy's apology, then later did an official press apology. I wonder if Diddy would have come out with a real press conference, really addressing the accusations made against him. Right now, like you said, it's like, are you just saying it because you got caught, or it's out there? What else are you possibly lying about? There are multiple allegations against him. I think honestly, Diddy should just fess up. It's okay, none of us are perfect. The only part of not a defense, but of understanding, is when someone is that high up, they're not mentally like the majority of people. There's a madness up there. We can get drunk off power and influence. That can cloud your judgment. I hope he gets the necessary help, the therapy, because you've been accused of some crazy things. I don't think this is a joke. I think this is something we should address as a community. I appreciate him taking the smoke for now, but he should still get more support around him so he doesn't continue to make these mistakes. As this shocking footage from 2016 resurfaces, it raises serious questions and concerns about the events that transpired. Stay tuned for further updates as we continue to delve into this troubling incident, seeking answers and clarity. The truth behind these disturbing images remains crucial not only for those directly involved, but also for the broader conversation on accountability and justice in the public eye.